Do you experience high level of anxiety or insecurity or panic when you don't have your cell phones with you?
Yes.
Do you have your cell phones with you always?
No.
Close to you in your pocket? When you sleep close to you near your bed?
No.
Do you usually talk on your cell phone when you are driving or walking?
No. Yes. Not always.
My dear fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, if you say yes to these questions, you are addicted to your cell phones. I too had a similar experience some time back when there was a power outage in my house due to a transformer burst. My battery went red. I was not able to charge the phone. I panicked. The other day, I had to rush back home with sweat to pick up my forgotten phone. I again panicked. That made me think, why is that I feel that way when I don't have my cell phone? Then I came to realize it is a cell phone addiction. Well, the usage of cell phone has increased in the past few years. With the advent of smartphones, it has increased tremendously more, and we can use our cell phones for almost anything, from communicating to social networking to also have a feeling of your touch in the world on the go by a small display screen. The cell phone technology, even though it is in its incipient stage, formative years, has invaded our personal lives like no other technology has. It is hard to think of any other tool or instrument or object in the mankind history that has been so addictive, so close, forming a relationship with people so quickly. Only money comes close. Always have at hand before you go out of your house. Well, in some European countries, you don't even have to have cash. You can make mobile payments. For example, you buy a cup of coffee and there is a technology called NFC, Near Field Communication, where you pay through mobile payment by waving a phone near the reader. Today, it is nearly impossible to meet a person without a cell phone. We have a sense of losing a limb if you don't have a cell phone. Baylor University researchers have recently found that materialism and impulsiveness lie behind excessive compulsive use of cell phones. Their findings are published in a journal of behavioral addicts. The urge that drives cell phone usage and instant messaging addiction may be the same urge that drives a shopaholic. Cell phone addiction, the expert says, is most often characterized by feelings of withdrawal, panic if you don't have a cell phone, compulsive checking of cell phones, and using cell phones to make you feel good. Cell phone also ties itself to something called FOMO, an abbreviation of fear of missing out. You fear something, you're missing out. Something interesting, you're missing out. Something interesting is happening in the virtual world or online, then what is actually happening to you in reality? Or you fear that your family or friend would try to contact you, reach you for a need or an emergency, and you will not be available for them. The fear of being out of contact with people via mobile phone, cell phone is called nomophobia. No mobile phobia. And the addiction to cell phones and smartphones is called addictophobia. These are the words recently coined by the researchers. As with any addiction, the first step to overcome it to realize that there is a problem. Answer honestly whether your cell phone usage is getting in your way, is interfering with your productivity both at work and at home. Once we realize the problem exists, we are able to look for treatment and solutions. We may have to restrict ourselves when it comes to our cell phone usage. How do we do that? By having a mindset that cell phone is just a gadget we use to get certain things done in a certain way. We can also follow and practice few things like understand that cell phone is there to communicate, not to have a conversation. Have your mobile conversation short. Don't send excessive messages and calls unnecessarily. Before you tend to send a message or call, take a moment and think, is it really necessary for me to do it? You also need to tame the urge for you to constantly fidget with your phone and stare at its display, even though there is no need for you to do that. And don't think negatively if a person whom you are calling is not picking your call. Think that he or she might be actually busy. When you have called and will return your call when they are free. Remember, centuries people have lived without cell phones. In India, at the max, we have had cell phones in the mass public for last 10 years only. Forget about your cell phones, I would say, for a couple of days at least. In fact, that is the motto of a campaign that has started in Russia as latest as this Tuesday. And there is a no cell phone day that is gearing up world over, and the day is Wednesday. When you deliberately limit the amount of time you spend each day with your phone, you work toward dismantling this addiction behavior. You increase your independence from the technology. You will likely find that you are more tuned to your surroundings and also find engaging with people face to face is more interesting than online or virtual.